Welcome back, everybody.
This is take number 30.
We missed you. Listen, just because I want to do 17 takes to get this show started, I demand perfection, Ryan, and I will get it.
I can only hear you shout, "Hey, everybody," so many times. It just...
You know what? Sometimes the pitch has to be perfect, or else the show just will not work right, Ryan. You know, I'm a goddamn artist. I'm an artista, okay? An artiste. I don't explain to you my process, my genius.
Yeah, I'm just glad that we have not stopped recording yet.
You should just be thrilled that you are on the fucking coattails of greatness, Ryan. That's all I'm saying. Like, you have hooked your little cart onto the back of the fucking caboose of fucking super great awesomeness.
Yeah. I think we should.
That was supposed to be like a train metaphor that I really just destroyed.
Yeah, and we better move on before you stop this recording.
It shows how much I don't know about trains. What is it? The caboose is the inn. The engine. What's the one that makes it go? The engine train part? What is that called?
The engine.
It's like the dick tip of the fucking train. What's the dick tip of the train called?
The steam caboose.
You are living in like train country. You should fucking know what the dick tip of a train. You live in like.
It's the engine, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just called the engine.
I don't know. That's what I assumed.
That's a dumb name.
Polar Express. It's not like they're trying to get to the front car or something like that.
All I know is I watched the Denzel Washington Captain Kirk movie where the train derailed, and that was like thinking Pittsburgh. So I'm pretty sure all trains lead to Pittsburgh.
What was the name of that movie?
All trains lead to Pittsburgh. That's the name of that movie. I don't fucking know. I don't know. I watched that movie one time and moved on because it was like, Runaway Train. I've seen this movie. It's called Speed, and Speed was way better.
I was literally just going to say that, which I also saw that you bought on Vudu, apparently.
I did. It was, dude, I'm telling you, there's a few things in life, all right? A couple things. One, when good ice cream's on sale, you buy at least 3 cartons of it. Okay, there's a few life lessons. 2, when Speed is $4.99 in 4K on iTunes, you fucking buy it. You don't ask questions. You don't look at bank account. You just buy it and just move on with your life, knowing that you are in a better place than you were before you didn't buy Speed.
Because the more that you get to watch of the eternal man that is Keanu Reeves.
Dude, we're in a Keanu Reeves-assance, man. I'm telling you. We're in a Keanu-assance.
So if we had a Keanu Reeves-a-thon, what would it be like the movies that we would have to play?
Point Break.
Order.
In what order? Well, let's not do order because then I don't want to be here all day because trying to rank Keanu Reeves movies is like trying to capture happiness. You just can't do it.
That's true.
It's like trying to capture happiness in a bottle and then putting a little jar on it, like a lid, and then not letting anyone else have your happiness. But you just can't do it.
You pick up more Neo and then just blast through everything.
The closest thing to capturing happiness is buying Speed for $4.99 on iTunes in 4K, Ryan. All right, so 5 Keanu Reeves. So just if I had to pick 5 Keanu Reeves movies, the essentials: Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Yes.
Speed.
Matrix. Matrix, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting there. Speed. Point Break.
Yeah. Yes.
Matrix.
Yeah.
And what's number? Yeah, it's got to be John Wick.
Yeah.
John Wick.
At least one of them.
I mean, there's some other ones good. You know, Babes in Toylands. I mean, that's not a good one, but like, and Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey is pretty fun.
Yeah.
But I gotta go with John Wick. Probably John Wick 1. I like 2 and 3, but 1 is the classic.
Yeah, 1 sets it up. It was the one that surprised the hell out of everybody.
God, what if you only made 5 movies? That movie, I know some people would probably throw out Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, but to those people I say, you are wrong and you shouldn't ever judge movies. I mean, come on. If you only made 5 movies in your life and they were The Matrix, Point Break, Speed, John Wick, and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, you are already the coolest person in the history of mankind.
You've already had one of the most successful careers,
and are the best at everything ever.
Yeah,
I mean he's the best surfer.
What about Constantine though? You have
Constantine's good, but it's not up to those 5.
That's
I mean,
true.
if I was going to go with the sixth, I'd probably go Constantine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely better than that stupid movie where he had, like, Sub-Zero. What was that movie called? Where he had, like, the Zero, the frozen particle, and it made everything freeze. It was real dumb.
Like, is that the one where, like, all, like, the space was, or, like, all the atmosphere was, like, collapsing in or something like that?
I don't remember. I just remember it was real dumb. Johnny Mnemonic, that was real bad, too.
Ooh, forgot about that.
But we're not going to talk about those ones. So anyway.
Yeah.
Yes.
But we do have a lot of good stuff to talk about.
We do. How do we get... see, this is the problem. You mentioned Keanu Reeves, who's one of my favorite actors of all time. And we get completely sidetracked. We get derailed. We get derailed like Captain Kirk did to that train in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
See? Brought it all back, Ryan. Brought it all back.
So tonight it is episode 181. And
by the way, I'm Brian.
What? Oh, and Ryan. Hello.
And you are like Ryan said, you are joining us for episode 181 of the Geek Dad Report, the one show dedicated, formulated, specially created into not only talking about great Keanu Reeves movies, but also bringing you all the nerd news you need to know, all by putting a little smile on your faces. Like I said, I'm Brian.
And I'm Ryan. And we got a lot of trailers to talk about tonight. E3 has been happening.
I'm texting my wife.
What? Oh, okay. And
hang on a second.
Sony apparently bowed out of E3 this year, which is interesting. But yeah, and then we do have some recommendations. We have 3 questions from the Faithful 50 that we're going to get to, and there are no bonus shows this week, so you can always just watch our Swamp Thing and Rim of the World and the one that we did last week. I'm not sure what Brian's doing right now. But
texting my wife. Hang on.
Well, yeah, but you're holding your phone up like this, like you're taking, dick pics or something.
What? You don't take dick pics?
Yeah, I don't send my wife that. No.
Dude, like literally, it's all on my phone, man. We don't do like emojis. We do dick pics instead. It's great.
Oh,
like we have a
okay.
dick. We have like a upside down dick pic that's like a sad face. And then we got like a floppy dick that's like the goofy face.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a whole bunch. It's fine. Don't worry. Don't worry. You're doing such a good job telling people what we're doing. Just keep going.
Well, I'm just more concerned about your wife sending you those pics, but
dude, how can you block someone? What does that even mean? You've been blocked.
We apparently have a great episode for you tonight. As soon as Brian done sending dick pics to his wife.
All right. So did you talk about all the stuff we're going to talk about? The E3 stuff?
I did.
Did you tell everybody we're going to have like recommendations?
Yes, I did all that, Brian.
Did you talk about all the awesome questions from the Faithful 50?
Yes, I did, Brian.
Did you talk about my dick pics?
No, I did not.
Damn it, I thought I had you. It's this close. Actually, just so you know, I wouldn't answer your phone if I were you. I was sending all those to you.
Oh, well, let me see.
No, don't look.
Ah!
I told you not to look. Told you. You got the floppy to the side. That's like the head exploding emoji.
So which one is this? That's the exploding emoji?
That's the eggplant emoji.
So what is it that is twisted?
Oh, that's the this shit is crazy emoji.
Oh, okay. Thanks, I guess. I mean,
hey, I went to college. I went to college to learn those skills. You should appreciate it.
I did understand that you did have a doctor that told you that you have a anatomically correct junks or something like that.
Anatomically correct? No, he said I had a perfect anatomy. Perfect, Ryan. Perfection.
Yes.
See those doves flying out of my pants? Perfection.
Yeah, and now I know. So I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
But maybe we should get to the ninja news now, Brian.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
Are we going to start off with the uppercut
of information, Ryan? Then we're coming with the double chop. The double Kirk fist chop of nerd knowledge.
Wow.
And then lastly,
I think we'll finish it off with the Cobra Kai leg sweep of learning.
I like it.
And then all of our people will know everything.
Everything. That's a lot of stuff to learn.
And also
listen. I mean, don't
have at least 3 moves when they have to fight.
I mean, listen. We're pretty good at what we do, but everything, you're really setting people's expectations real high. That when they watch this, they're gonna know everything.
Brian, I've seen people be told less and think that they know more. So,
yeah,
they're
called Trump followers.
Just look at the Republican Party. And
they're called anti-vaxxers.
Yeah. God damn those.
I wish they all think.
How's your measles outbreak, Brian?
Oh, God, I saw it's up to like 1,300 cases right now. It's fucking crazy, man. Whatever. I listened to that End of the World podcast that I recommended last week, and
forgot about that.
Dude, it's so good. One of them's about like how a virus is going to take us all out. It is fucking terrifying. Listening to that one is absolutely terrifying.
You know what's terrifying is that I finally started watching Chernobyl, and I am very glad that there was not a giant nuclear explosion that basically made half of Russia uninhabitable.
Dude, think about this. We were 3 scuba divers away. 3 scuba divers away from literally having half the planet be unlivable.
Yeah. It's insane.
All right. Ninja news time. First up. So, okay. So, I know you talked about E3. So, I think just so we can easily do this, we're going to knock out. We got a few just stories of the week. We'll talk about them real quick. And then we got a couple movie trailers we'll talk about. And then we'll just spend the rest of the news time talking about E3, if that sounds good to you.
It does sound good to me.
All right, so first up, tonight, we see the return of Krypton. Season 2 starts on Sci-Fi Channel tonight. So if you have not checked out Season 1 of Krypton, you can watch it right now on the DC Universe app. And you may be able to watch it on demand. But me and Ryan both agree it's a great show. You should check it out. Unlike Gotham, this one's actually worth watching. I'm actually
going to get bored because things got a little messed up.
Dude, I love the twist. So if you are thinking to yourself, I'm not going to watch Krypton because it's just a stupid prequel and doesn't have Superman and it's probably as bad as Gotham, you would be wrong on all those accounts. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really have Superman, so I guess you'd be get like a half a point for credit. But other than that, you'd be completely wrong. Now, I actually really enjoy how I'm really surprised how they've managed to find a way to make Superman's grandfather exciting.
Yeah. I mean, it's...
Well, and they've introduced time travel, and they've been able to, because of it, they've been able to bring some classic villains that it works. I don't know. It just works. I really enjoyed Season 1 a lot.
They really made that season work, especially, they even had tried to introduce Doomsday and stuff, so...
Well, I mean, it makes sense. Doomsday's Kryptonian. But, so... Lobo is going to be the big draw for the season, for Season 2. That was the big announcement that Lobo is going to be in this. Well, apparently they really like him because Sci-Fi has apparently ordered a Lobo spinoff show. So they are going to, they apparently like Krypton so much they're going to kind of build their own little DC mini universe, which, hey, I say, if it's as good as Krypton, hell yeah, let's do it.
Why not? They only have the CW DC shows, the DCU app, the DC movies. Might as well just start its own little thing on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Well, they've got some time and some money because they canceled all the other shows we like. So it sounds like Lobo is going to be maybe a limited series. It's going to tell the origin of Lobo. So it's probably only going to be a 2 or 3 season run. It's probably what they have in mind for the character. But hey, whatever. I like Lobo. It's kind of Lobo.
We could just assume this is just a test for the WB streaming app to see what people will watch. So.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, and not just that. It's I'm just happy because it's a new character. They're not regurgitating yet another character that we have seen a million times. We're getting a Flash Part 2 show. Oh God, just give me something new. Anybody's not familiar with Lobo, it's kind of a. I don't know, Lobo's like a total asshole bounty hunter who's basically indestructible, whose best friend is a dolphin, and he rides on like this weird cosmic Harley.
Through space.
He's apparently he was like, he was DC's like answer to Deadpool. He's very much like Deadpool, but I don't know. I mean, but he's also very much not like Deadpool.
there'll just be a lot less swearing on the Sci-Fi channel. So
yeah, I'll watch it. I don't know, Sci-Fi you can get away with a lot of swearing, but we'll see. I'm no date on when that's coming out. It's all in early development, so it'll be next fall.
I'm still having a hard time forgiving Sci-Fi for canceling The Expanse, but I'm just glad that.
Oh yeah, we should be getting season. Was it 4 here soon from Amazon? I think it's coming in August.
Should be soon.
I'm real excited. Speaking of sci-fi stuff, Ryan, apparently, I don't know if you forgot about Quentin Tarantino's turn it. Well, I don't know. Turn his
100% did forget.
Let me phrase this. Hey Ryan, I don't know. Speaking of sci-fi, I don't know if you've forgotten about Quentin Tarantino's attempt to make a Star Trek movie.
Yes. And what is it going to be rated, Brian?
So apparently everyone else forgot too, because he recently announced that his script was done and that it will be in fact rated R, and that he's meeting with Paramount to try and get this thing moving. And apparently it will be set. Well, there's rumors. There's rumors that it will be set in the new Star Trek universe with Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto, but William Shatner apparently is also rumored to be on board and being in the movie as well. So
we're going to see Shatner swearing and having like an intense standoff.
Here's my thing. Will this movie be for everybody? No, but I think if you want things like Star Trek to keep living on, I know a lot of people weren't happy with Discovery, but a lot of people, I really enjoyed season 1 of Discovery, and I think same with Star Wars and everything else. All these properties have been around for 40, 50 years. You have to change things up occasionally and take chances on stuff, right? I mean, The Last Jedi was very much a different type of Star Wars movie. Some people, like myself, thought it worked really well. Some people didn't. But you got to credit Star Wars, Lucasfilms, for taking a chance and doing something a little different. You can't just do the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I mean, I just went through. I've been watching The Next Generation, and I went through the whole 7 seasons. Like, it took me about last 8 months. I just had it playing on the background. So now I just started Star Trek Voyager. It's like 100% different show.
Yeah.
And, it's fun. And it doesn't feel like I'm just watching I probably would have given up watching another Star Trek if it, was so much in the vein of The Next Generation. So
yeah, and to be fair, like anybody who's watched Star Trek Discovery, it's very much a rated R TV show. I mean, it is not your grandpappy's Star Trek. I mean, I think Tarantino would fit really good in that universe, and I think, I don't think it's going to be over the top. I know we joked last week about, Django Unchained and the Zorro movie about him, just profanity-laced bad words. I don't think that's what this is going to be. Like, I don't think Star Trek, yes, there'll probably be some swearing in it, but I think it's just going to be more of a real kind of gritty version of Star Trek. Maybe a more realistic, his thing was that he wanted to tell about the terrors of space. So maybe it's going to be more of a horror story, right? Maybe we might get, and if you've ever watched all the Star Treks, there's a handful of episodes that are genuinely terrifying. And the Borg is just horrendous. Like, they come in and just murder everybody. So
yeah, and they just don't give a crap.
No, so I mean, I think the story's ripe for a rated R. As long as it's not, nobody wants to see Pulp Fiction Star Trek, but I don't think Quentin Tarantino would do this if he was gonna Pulp Fiction it, right? I think he's clearly a Star Trek fan and wanted to make his version of the movie.
There'd be at least one scene where somebody has to get exposed to space or something like that.
There'll be some violence and there'll be there'll be some great dialogue, I'm sure, but whatever, we'll see. But no word yet. Paramount has not greenlit that, so we'll see when it happens. What happens, it happens. Okay, so we've got our first. So last week we talked about. I think we talked about it last week. Warner Brothers was starting their own streaming service. I don't know if we talked about the price point, but so apparently Warner Media, which is now Warner Brothers, since they've been bought by AT&T, have formed this division called Warner Media. It's going to handle all their streaming stuff and all their media properties. They announced last week. We talked a lot about the DC Universe app. Warner Brothers released their streaming point is going to be $17.99 or $16-17 for the streaming service, but it would also include not only all of Warner Brothers' catalog of movies, original shows, it would also include HBO and Cinemax. So when you factor in, HBO Go, I think by itself is $15 a month. So paying $17 a month, honestly, if you get HBO and everything Warner Brothers offers, isn't really that big of a, it's actually a pretty decent price point.
It's almost kind of worth it, at least with the HBO.
Well, yeah, for me, I could cancel my HBO package with my cable company, and that'd probably right there save me $20 just for HBO. So then I could pay $17 and stream this. So, and apparently they might bundle it with the DC Universe app. I mean, there's a lot going on. They haven't released any concrete things yet, but they did this week announce their very first original show they're gonna be doing for the streaming service. I think the streaming service is gonna launch later this year. No word on when this show is coming out, but it's gonna be called Dune: The Sisterhood. It's the first official TV series. It's gonna be tied into the Dune movie that, what's his name? I forget his name, but the guy who's directing the movie is also directing the series.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I mean, it definitely seems like it's gonna be kind of like I don't want to say it's going to be a prequel, but it'll be a prequel to his own movies that he's making. So it's just kind of tying into this whole larger universe of Dune.
Yeah, Dune is a large universe.
Yes, it is. And, I actually kind of like this, that if Warner Brothers is planning on doing stuff like this, like, let's not say they're rebooting The Matrix, but let's say The Matrix was a new property coming out next year. It'd be cool if, The Matrix is their next big thing that they're excited about. So they give us a Matrix lead-up series, right? A 10-episode miniseries that kind of ties into that universe, that gets you really excited for the movie coming out. I think it'd be a good way to hype things leading into the movies and maybe even boost their sales. Or if the movie does really well, it gets people excited about the streaming service.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I would actually enjoy that, to have a mini series, before a movie came out or something like that.
I guess Disney's already kind of doing that with their comic book properties, but
yeah.
I guess the thing that excites me about the Warner Brothers, these are more original. I mean, I know Dune's not an original IP, but we get so many comic book stories.
As tapped, though. I mean, it's not like we've seen Dune stuff, for the last 30 years. So
yeah, well, exactly. I'm still holding out. I'm holding out just a hope that we are going to get some kind of a Harry Potter series on this Warner Media.
Ooh.
Because if you give us anything in the Harry Potter universe, give us the original Marauders, give us the
if you want Disney money,
you want to tie more into Fantastic Beasts, give us that 10-episode series. That's how you're gonna hook a lot of us. So, but Warner Brothers does have a lot of really great properties. And there's a lot of ways they could go with this. So, but yeah, I read the books. I like Dune. The movie's so weird to me. I really enjoyed the sci-fi original series they had, the mini series. But I'll watch this. I'll check it out. I think it'll be cool.
I've only read the first Dune book. I haven't read any of the others.
Dude, I got into about 4 of the Dune books, and then they just kept cloning Duncan, Idaho.
Yeah,
and it just got weird, man. They got so weird.
I know our good friend X has been. I know he's a deep dive into that series.
Yeah,
so.
I mean the first couple books of Dune are really good. It's really strange. This is a little bit of a Dune spoiler, so if nobody wants to know, just heads up. The Christ figure, which is Paul Atreides. He is, by the end of the first book, he's the good guy, but by the end of the second book, he basically becomes the villain, which is kind of, and then he turns into a worm. So it's really, it gets real strange. But it's I like it because it's not quite the typical hero's journey, and this the story itself is very gritty, and it's a human story. It's a lot of fantastical elements, but at its core, it's just a human story, and I don't know, I really enjoyed it. So. More to come, but it looks like we're gonna get no word on whether it's gonna be a miniseries or ongoing series. But they're gonna flesh out the sisters, which are basically like a religious order on Dune. So, all right. So let's see here. Yeah. What else? Speaking of R-rated movies, apparently Birds of Prey is going to be R-rated as well. Margaret Robbie wanted everyone to know that it's gonna be less male gazy. So I'm guessing less. Chicks wearing skimpy outfits and a much more of a movie with women doing cool shit.
Yeah, so probably more in the vein of Wonder Woman than
Shut up, dog. Dog's the worst. Hi, honey.
Hi.
Did you get all the dick pics?
All of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
You hear how excited she was. I hope the microphone picked that up. She was so excited.
Yeah. I'm very...
Hang on a second. My kids are coming. Kids, I'm podcasting. Make sure you're quiet.
This is a serious professional thing that we're doing here.
And don't look at your mom's phone. All right, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, Birds of Prey. As Margot Robbie says, it's not going to be a bunch of chicks in booty shorts. It's going to be, badass women doing cool stuff. So, whatever.
That's all.
I don't care.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm glad it's not just. I'd much rather see a movie with fully fleshed out characters than booty shorts. So,
yeah,
whatever. I don't really care that it's rated R. I always kind of assumed this would be rated R. I mean, the Joker and Harley Quinn, their story is a rated R story. So,
yeah.
Let's be honest. Suicide Squad would probably have been better if it was rated R.
Should be nice.
Okay, let's see here. Do we want to talk about here? Let's I got a couple real quick. We'll just mention them and then move on. Kevin Hart is remaking Scrooged for Paramount.
Yeah.
I know some people were mad, but to that I say Scrooged is a remake of about 32 other Ebenezer Scrooge A Christmas Story. So
get over it.
I like Kevin Hart, and I think it'll be funny. John Cena apparently is joining the cast of Fast and Furious 9. This is kind of, to me, more further evidence that The Rock is never coming back to the Fast and Furious series proper, that the Hobbs and Shaw spinoff movies are basically going to be their own thing, and I don't know. I think that Vin Diesel and Rock feud went a little deeper than people even thought.
So did something happen?
Yeah, so basically The Rock called Vin Diesel a candy ass and unprofessional because he didn't show up. Like, he wouldn't show up to... Apparently, they're supposed to shoot on set at like 9 o'clock, and he shows up at noon. And apparently, because he's the star, they have to wait for him. And I guess at the time in question, it was Atlanta. It was in the summer, so everybody's out there just baking, waiting for Vin Diesel to show up, and Vin just... nonchalantly hops in, and The Rock, The Rock is, I don't know him personally, but he's always seemed like very much a professional, like, highly motivated.
20 movies a year, so.
Yeah, I feel like The Rock is like, I'll be there at 8 a.m., he's probably there at 7:30 waiting.
Yeah, but he's been up since 4 o'clock lifting weight.
He's been up since 4 o'clock eating 700 pancakes and doing 72 reps. So, so apparently their feud was real bad to the point where, like, they weren't going to do press together. I mean, like, it was real bad. And then last minute people came in and said, like, oh, everything's cool. And then all of a sudden they announced Hobbs and Shaw, a spinoff movie. And now John Cena's in and The Rock is not for episode 9. So, not to say that John Cena and The Rock are the same person, but I think those movies only have room for one giant muscle, bulky dude. Pro wrestler.
I'm glad that WWE is still producing.
All right, let's see what else we got here. X-Men. So apparently the X-Men animated series, which is pretty much the best X-Men thing outside of the comics ever.
Yeah.
Now that Disney once again owns all the rights to the X-Men, the original producers and creators of the X-Men animated series. Stop singing the song. You're going to make me want to sing the song. Here we go. Towards the end. Anyway, all right. There, it's out of my system. Don't make me do it again.
That's going to happen.
So apparently they've approached Disney about not even rebooting, but just continuing the series. So obviously it would be, better animated.
I forgot where they're at. Like, Sentinels were coming in.
I don't know. Honestly, at this point, I say just start over and just continue. Like, I would be okay if they did the exact same stories, but just reanimated everything.
They made Captain America a bitch.
You know what? Moving on. Speaking of bitches, Ryan, apparently Russia is making their own Chernobyl film.
We're going to get hacked.
Probably. But apparently Russia is making their own Chernobyl film because they watched this new Chernobyl miniseries and they thought to themselves, this is American bullshit propaganda. We're going to show them what really happened. So apparently Russia's version of this will focus on the American spy that apparently caused the disaster.
Well, they kept saying, like,
What is
how did it
this?
blow up? I can't explain it. Well, at least, I don't know, maybe I still have the last 2 episodes to finish, so.
What is this?
It's insane.
Well, a spoiler alert, when you watch it, there is no Russian spy, or no American spy in Chernobyl.
Burn.
Whatever. You know what? I didn't watch that and think to myself...
I just got to the episode where there's a whole bunch of naked miners.
Here, yeah, the wiener swinging. You know what's sad about this whole thing is, like, you know what I took from watching Chernobyl? Not only is it a disaster, like, to me, yeah, I mean, obviously their government lied to them, and we know I grew up in the 80s, so we kind of know what the USSR was about, but, honestly, I took away from this not like Russia was bad or Russia needed to hide. What happened sucks, right? And
yeah,
obviously they made a lot of mistakes that cost a lot of lives, but like I left just like thinking to myself, like, God, the Russian people are just unbelievable. Like the things that they did to save the rest of the world, and they did things that no fucking American would ever do.
Yeah, but the thing is, if that had happened in America, I mean, it wouldn't happen in the exact same way, but it'd be like the very beginning. It would be like people just trying to cover their own asses.
Yeah, you know what? And that's the thing that's sad to me is, like, I wish, obviously we're just nobodies in the world, but we're not world leaders, but I kind of wish Russia would just embrace this. I mean, I don't know if it's true. I mean, obviously it's as true as they think it can be, but, if it's... Just embrace, and embrace what happened, and really, if you're going to make another movie, make one where you really just build up your own people and the sacrifices they made. Because, like I said, man, I mean, literally Russians were on top of the building scooping off graphite. Oh, you haven't got to that part yet. I don't want to spoil it. But literally, these guys are like, you can only be there for 90 seconds because that is an entire lifetime dose of radiation that you can have in your entire life. Right? I mean, can you imagine going up to, like, Bob's Auto and be like, hey, Bob, listen, here's a shovel. I need you to go shovel some graphite that is so radioactive, if you spend longer than 90 seconds, your eyeballs are going to melt.
Here's a suit that makes zero, that will not help you at all.
So, yeah, I don't know, man. Whatever. Good luck, Russia, with your movie. I kind of hope it gets released over here in the United States so we can check it out.
Yeah, but I would like to see the Russian version just to see, like, what they say.
Yeah, I do too. I kind of want to watch it. Hopefully it'll get released on, like, YouTube. Listen, I'm sure Trump is going to say, speaking of bitches, I'm sure Trump is going to tweet out that this new Chernobyl is the best movie ever. And that, everyone should be proud. Whatever.
Not proud.
All right, moving on. What do we got here? E3 news. I know we had a couple other stories here real fast. We got a new trailer. We got the first official trailer for the for Frozen 2. That's not a teaser. This actually like tells about the story.
The action adventure. And
I think me and you both had the same reaction. Frozen 2 is officially a superhero movie. Action-adventure superhero movie.
Assemble your group for an adventure.
Yeah, basically the trolls show up and say, oh, we worried about Elsa. Well, apparently there's a greater power, and now we need her to save us all. So, like, the group gets together and goes on a journey to combat the world's greatest evil.
Yeah, and Anna is going to, like, start slicing up people.
Yeah, I think it looks cool. I'm excited.
I want to see Sven just, like, gore people with his horns.
Yeah, dude. We'll see what happens. But actually, I like the trailer. I thought it was good. I'm much more excited to see this one than I was the last one, even though the last one's a pretty good movie. But, whatever. Let's see. Legos.
Catchy songs.
Legos is continuing their trend of releasing the most epic, like, Lego sets of all time. We now can get, you can now get a Jurassic Park with a rampaging T-Rex and a shirtless Jeff Goldblum.
You mean the Lego sets where you get it for your kids, or your kids get it to make it as a family, and then you end up doing the whole thing all by yourself because everybody else sucks at putting Legos together.
And then they tell everybody that they did it, and yeah.
And then when you're at work, they're like, I was pretending to be a monster, and I smashed it.
Nope, I don't do that. I don't buy them. Let's see. Moving on. Netflix has acquired the Tom Clancy movie, The Division. So apparently this is a Jake Gyllenhaal, Jessica Chastain joint. and Netflix is buying it. So this is one of Ubisoft's movies they're making. Netflix is desperate to have some original IP. So there you go.
And I think I've read the first 3 books out of that series. So
I've read none of them, but I've heard it's a really cool story. So
is that the one with the spy? No, they're
well, The Division was a game. It was a video game.
Yeah,
I know they made some movies based off it, but I think Division's like a apocalyptic world where the government spies on you at all times. And
okay, I have not read this one. Then I was thinking of a different, one of the many thousands of Tom Clancy novels that are out there.
Well, let me look. Now I've got to look. No, I know it's based on the game. Let's see here. So no word on what this article doesn't say shit, but it is being directed by the guy who did Deadpool and John Wick.
That's good.
Deadpool 2 and John Wick, so
dreaming.
I'll take that. Whatever. It's coming. It's coming. You're going to watch it. It's on free on Netflix. And then lastly, we got a trailer for a movie that I had no idea was coming, but I immediately have to see it. It's called Stuber. And it's Dave Bautista. And, God, I can never say his name. Camille. Yeah, basically super funny Indian dude from, I think he's in Silicon Valley.
Yes.
So he plays an Uber driver, and Dave Bautista's a cop who doesn't ever drive, and so he has his Uber driver drive him around all the places, and they end up on all these, insane police, shootouts, and I don't know. It looks funny. Check out the trailer for Stuber. I think it's going to be hilarious.
It's literally, you're going to watch it, and you're going to say, I have no idea what the heck all this is about, but you want to watch it.
Yeah, basically, there you go. It's exactly what it is. All right. So, and then one last story. I guess we do have one more. We got to touch base on before we get to our E3 stuff. X-Men Dark Phoenix apparently is going to lose over $100 million at the box office. It absolutely tanked. The reviews have just destroyed it.
No, sorry, Santa. Quinn in the North. Not for that.
I think we all could have said the movie. Now they're all coming out saying that it's not their fault. It's Disney's fault that the movie was too close to Captain Marvel, so they made him reshoot all this stuff. Whatever, who cares?
What?
I don't even care. I didn't care about Dark Phoenix before Marvel bought him.
What?
X-Men Apocalypse was one of the most atrocious, stupid movies I've ever seen. I don't want to watch it. Whatever.
They're coming back from that.
You know what? Disney is bought the X-Men, and they'll take care of them, so I'm not really worried about it. All right, so on to E3 stuff.
Yes, because we have so much time in our lives now to play video games that we have to pay attention to all of this.
I will say that watching this E3 stuff really got me excited to play video games, which is, because to your point.
Honestly, I wish I had more time to play. The Final Fantasy, we'll get to it, but there were a couple of games I was like, I want to play you, but I can't.
Yeah, this is the first E3. So, over the last couple of years, there's been a lot of games missing from E3, and this year really delivered. We had, first we got, let's start talking about it a little bit. Let's talk about the games, and then we'll kind of break down what each developer did and stuff. The big games that I got excited for is, we got Halo. We got a Halo Infinite. Now, Halo is my jam. I mean, of all the games I'll play, that's the one that gets me the most excited. We finally got to see a trailer for a Halo Infinite. It's going to be released on the new Xbox Scarlett, the new system that's coming out. I don't think that's going to be the official name for it, but that's what they're calling it right now. But we'll talk more about that eventually. But I'm kind of bummed that I'm not getting another Halo. I mean, all we had on the Xbox One was Halo 5, which was a pretty big disappointment. I know we had Halo Wars, but we had no official Halo proper game other than Halo 5. So, and that came out really early in the Xbox One's life. So, but what was really exciting was it was like a 13-minute trailer, and it looked like a mini movie. It didn't give anything away from the game itself, but it just showed the incredible graphics of what they're doing, and it looks amazing.
And it does tell you who won and who lost.
Yeah, there's a lot that's happened since Halo 5, apparently. I just love the fact that John, they find him in the trailer, they find Master Chief's floating in space, and this guy who just is trying to survive powers him up, hoping that he'll save him. And John's like, we don't run. What he goes, what do we do? We fight. And he just blows open the back of this Pelican in space and jumps out after whatever ship it is. He's such a badass.
He didn't have a gun.
He grabbed a gun off the wall, just a standard machine gun, and stuck it to his back. He's clearly looking for Cortana. Cortana's gone batshit crazy.
Oh, yeah. I did read the wiki just so I could understand what the heck was going on.
Well, I knew what was going on. I just hope they find a way to ride around it. So anybody, well, this is going to get super nerdy here. Anybody who's played Halo or wants to know what's up with Cortana, so apparently artificial AIs in the Halo universe start to go crazy after 7 years. They just compile too much data, and they can't process it, so they start losing it. Well, Cortana's been in existence for 10 years, so she's just... But her and Master Chief are kind of in love with each other, which is weird, but whatever. So he doesn't want to let her go, which kind of led to some of the problems in the last game.
But my understanding is that she's been getting a hold of the Forerunner.
Well, technology. Yeah, she merged with the Forerunner technology, so they're really setting it up that Cortana's the next big main villain. But now she has the Forerunner technology, and if you don't know what we're talking about, you should play some Halo games. But whatever. I'm really excited. We're gonna get that. It's gonna launch with the new Xbox in the holiday 2020, I think. So we're still a little ways away, but it's still I'm just excited to see something. It just looks incredible, and I guess that can just lead us into Xbox. They showed us that trailer because they really wanted to show off what this new Xbox was going to look like. Xbox is codenamed Xbox Scarlett. It's the next generation of the Xbox One. Apparently, it's supposedly 4 times more powerful than the Xbox. Where's the specs at? It's supposed to be 4 times more powerful than the Xbox One, which in itself was 5 times more powerful than the original Xbox One. Or sorry, the One X, which is the latest version of the whatever. But some of the things that it's going to do is it's going to process it comes with native 4K at 60 frames per second. It can go up to 120 frames per second with 8K capability. So all these next gen TVs that are 8K. It's ditching the hard drive for a solid state drive, which is going to give you supposedly 40% faster than anything on the market as far as load up times. Apparently, it's going to completely eliminate load times and any kind of lag.
Which is awesome. Especially I like to play RPGs. So
yeah, and apparently every Xbox game ever made is going to immediately be backwards compatible. So if you buy the new Xbox, the new Scarlett, from day one, you're going to log in your username, and everything you've ever purchased is going to move with you to your new console and be playable right on day one.
Only? Or is it going to be, can you port over your disc?
So this one you're going to be able to port your disc. This one does have a hard drive, or a disk drive, so you're going to be able to bring your old Xbox disc with you. But yeah, I mean, it sounds pretty cool, and judging from the graphics, it's using some crazy new Intel. It's basically a computer. There's no price points. My guess is the lowest one is going to probably be $699. It'll probably go all the way up to $1,000.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. And like you said, these are essentially now they're at the point where they're just high powered.
They're gaming. I mean, they're gaming computers. One of the other things, they're gaming computers that happen to be a console that hook up to your TV. One of the things that's pretty cool too is your Xbox One controllers you'll be able to bring them and use them on your new Xbox. So if you've got kids and you don't want to have to buy 15 new controllers, you can just use your old Xbox One controllers with it. Yeah. They announced a new Xbox Elite controller that's supposed to be pretty crazy, so I don't know if that's coming with the Xbox. Probably they'll have the $1,000 Xbox that'll probably come with it, and whatever. What else? Oh, so they're also kind of launching like a Nintendo Wii type service where you're going to be able to, all your games are going to be like in a cloud, and you're going to be able to play your games on the go. So I'm guessing from the Xbox app, you're going to be able to play a lot of your games portable, like on your phones and your devices. So, yeah, so like if you're doing a game where, I mean, obviously if you're playing your iPad, you're not going to have the same... I don't have a Wii, or not a Wii, it's a Wii, right?
Yeah, Nintendo Switch.
Nintendo Switch, thank you. So Nintendo Switch, you can take your game on the go. I don't think the game is the exact same version that you can play on hooked into your console, but so I don't know exactly how it'll work, but yeah, you're gonna be able to continue a lot of your game stuff. So it'll probably work really cool for like RPGs and stuff when you're at work. You're supposed to be working. You can probably pull out your iPad and start managing your character and doing some stuff. But
while you're taking a dump.
Yeah, so all I know is it's supposed to be quite the immersive, like all in one everything, right? So we'll see.
VR.
But yeah, I'm sure it'll have VR. I'm very excited. I'm definitely gonna buy the new Xbox. I mean, here's the shitty part is like I'm still a gamer at heart. I just never have time to play games anymore.
That's what kills me. It's like my son. Like he's been playing a lot more games and stuff lately. It's like, you son of a bitch. Like I'm out here taking care of the yard because it looks like crap, and I know he's inside playing video games. That's what I would really like to be doing, but I have responsibilities, and I don't enjoy that.
I agree.
Or until everybody's asleep at 10:30 at night, and then I get 1 hour.
Well, I know that's the hard thing. Plus, what's really cut into my time too is like there's so much good television and movies and stuff that you're like, I've watched a lot more TV than I used to, so that's really I got to get back into some Xbox stuff. I will say there were some other games other than Halo that got me excited that I want to play. The first up that we saw was the Star Wars. We finally saw Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, like live action gameplay, and it looks freaking great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I forget what game they said it's based on, but it's it's less like the Force Unleashed where you can just run in and murder everybody. You never have to think about anything. This one apparently they showed like the combat, and you could definitely see it. Like a lot of powerful characters come at you, and if you just try and murder everybody without thinking about it, you're gonna die a lot. So you have to like force choke this guy and back away, and then hit this guy. So it's very much like the combat that you're doing. You have to do a lot of one-on-one stuff with the computer versus just massive mowing down 50 people at a time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It looked gorgeous. That is going to be out this November for current consoles. So I don't know. I will be definitely picking that up and playing it this year. It is just a story-driven game, and I'm pretty excited about it, to be honest with you. Another game we finally got to see some footage for that's a story-driven game is the new Avengers game, Avengers Assemble.
Avengers Assemble? Yeah, that one looks fun.
It looks a little weird because the characters don't look anything like their movie counterparts, which was a little kind of jarring in the beginning.
Yeah, that's what. So when I showed it to my son, he's like, "How come that doesn't look like Captain America?"
Captain America, I think, was the worst of the group.
Yeah, I was like, "Well, that is Captain America." And he's like, "No, that's not Captain America." It's like it looks like a guy wearing a Captain America suit, but it's not Captain America.
Yeah, it definitely looked. It was a weird Captain America suit too. It definitely looked strange, but I thought the action looked really cool. The gameplay looked really cool. The story looked really cool. I don't care, whatever. You know what? I've never played an Avengers proper game other than what was that Marvel
versus Street Fighter one?
No, the one where it was like the top-down RPG. Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Oh, yes. I don't think I got to play that one.
It's really good. The second one's good too. It's not as good at gameplay, but the story is pretty good. This will be the first real proper Avengers game, so whatever. It looks really good. It's the same people who made the last Tomb Raiders games, Crystal Dynamics, I think. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, I'll play it. I think that's coming out next year. That's going to be on the current consoles, so we don't have to wait for the new Xbox One. Let's see. Square Enix. Let me look. May 15th, 2020. So it'll be on the current consoles, but it'll be a summer release next year. So a lot of these games, that was the only thing that sucks about these games. We saw a lot of games that looked really good, but we have to wait until next year to play most of them. Yeah. And some of them, like Final Fantasy VII, we got a trailer for. It looks gorgeous. Still no release date, I don't think.
And that's PlayStation exclusive still, right?
I was so excited about it until I found out it was a PlayStation 4 exclusive, and then I was like, you know what? I didn't play it originally on PlayStation because it was an exclusive, and now I'm fucking not going to play it again because it's an exclusive.
And that's what kills me, that this is probably the one Final Fantasy game that I always wanted to get around to.
But I was really excited for it.
I don't want to buy a PlayStation just to play one game.
My problem is I wanted to play Spider-Man, I wanted to play God of War 4 because I played all the other ones. I don't have enough time. I don't play enough games to justify a second console. I have about 5 games on my Xbox One right now that I still need to finish playing. Whatever.
Yeah, I haven't even bought a game. My son gets new games, so I've just been playing. I play his games, and just for like half an hour or so, and then call it good.
Yeah, I don't know, man. All I know is whatever. Let's see what other games we get. Final Fantasy, you're out. Gears of War 5, we got a teaser for it. Honestly, I still have yet to beat Gears of War 4 because it's boring, so I could care less about Gears of War 5. But that's coming at some point. I don't know. We did get a trailer for a game that I have not played in years that I actually might pick this one up because it looked incredible. Doom Eternal.
Oh, yes.
It comes out... Yeah, it comes out later this year, and it is... I mean, it's gone all hell, man. You're just like, hell is on earth. There's angels and demons, and the gameplay is insanity. Like, the amount of people that he just murders that you kill, it's just crazy. Like, you have so many different weapons and options on how to murder people. It looks pretty great.
It looks like a lot of fun, and I did not show it to my son.
No, it is a very adult game. It is just so much death and guts and impalements and decapitations.
Weird demons.
But I haven't played Doom since like the original Doom and on like the PC.
Crap out of the original Doom.
Yeah.
All right.
And I've had no real interest going back to the franchise, but this one I think has got me. It's got my money. I'm probably gonna play this one. I'm kind of done with the Lego games, but we're getting a Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. So it's gonna be an all new Lego Star Wars game that goes through all 9 movies.
Yeah, that's a lot of Lego Star Wars.
Yeah, and that launches next year after the final movie, so you don't have to worry about spoilers or anything. But I think I've played every single Lego Star Wars tie-in, so at this point I don't think I need to buy one that plays them all.
Love the Lego Movie game. We have it on the PC, but I cannot get them to want to play any Lego Movie on the console. I don't understand why. But
yeah, I have the Avengers one. Kids,
does it.
I got the Legos Marvel game. We play a lot on my Xbox, and the kids really like that one. So, and then let's see, we got another trailer. We got a trailer for a game that I've never heard of, Cyberpunk 2077. It looks gorgeous. It's like a game where most people have robot arms. It's very much in the future, obviously 2077. But technology is as much a part of humans as anything. The big draw on this, other than the fact that it looked gorgeous, was at the very end of it, Keanu Reeves showed up. Everything comes back to Keanu Reeves, Ryan.
Bring it all the way back up to the beginning of the show. Keanu Reeves.
Everything comes back to Christopher Reeves. Keanu Reeves. And that's all I gotta say about that. Check out the trailer. And then let's see, what else? What else do we get from E3? So we got... I don't know. I'll kind of go through this, and if there's anything you want to talk about, let me know. So let's see. Halo, we got So we were already talking about Xbox, so let's go back into Microsoft here. So we got the Halo release, Gears 5. Apparently they're doing a Blair Witch game. Pass. We're getting a Battletoads remake, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They're also bringing back their flight simulator, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's my cousin. He's a pilot now for United. I remember I would go to his house and he would just be sitting there playing the flight simulator for like hours.
Well, the cool thing is it's no longer just going to be on PC. You're going to be able to get this on the Xbox One.
But you gotta get like the big joystick. You can't use a controller.
No, that's lame. Okay, let's see. That was Microsoft's, and then obviously the Xbox, Scarlett. Nintendo, we're getting a new Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild game, Part 2.
Ooh. I want to play the first one so bad. I'll be honest.
I mean, here's the thing. So, they showed a trailer for the Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, which I didn't watch because I'm pissed off we're not getting it on any other console. In this day and age, why are they doing exclusives? Just Release it across the board.
Everything should be portable.
Let's see here. Here's their list of games. Zelda, Luigi, Pokemon, Zelda, Mario, Ultimate Alliance, Zelda, Dragon Quest, Mario, Resident Evil. Typical Nintendo.
Yeah, so Nintendo, the first party games.
Yeah, pretty much. We're getting a new Elder Scrolls Blade update for the iOS and Android. Looks like a portable game. Don't care. Fallout 76 is getting an update. Nuclear Winter. Wolfenstein is getting a third game and a VR game.
I have that. The one that's for the Xbox.
Yeah, I got the first one. I bought it for like $3 on a Christmas sale. I got to play it. I heard it's great.
Yeah, that's my wife got it for me for Christmas. It's probably the same sale, and we just haven't got around to it.
Yep. Sega. So Sega had some interesting stuff. So they announced that they were getting Phantasy Star Online Part 2 coming to the Xbox One. Apparently it's going to be free to play. I am really excited for this. I loved Phantasy Star Online for the Dreamcast.
I played it for a little bit because one of my roommates in college, or not a roommate, but a guy in our dorm had it. Mm-hmm. That was fun.
Sega also announced that we're getting a new Genesis mini consoles coming in September. It's going to have Mega Man, Earthworm Jim, Sonic the Hedgehog, Echo the Dolphin, and 35 other classic games.
Sounds good.
Let's see, and then there's a few other things we're getting. We're getting a Dark Crystal tie-in game. But the other real big news that came out was the Elden Ring game. That is, I think it's Elden Ring. It's the one that George R. R. Martin helped create.
Oh, I did not see that one.
So it's from the creator of Dark Souls. But it's in a universe that George R. R. Martin created. So maybe that's why he hasn't.
That's not Game of Thrones?
That's not Game of Thrones. This is a new fantasy land.
This is what he's been doing instead of finishing his goddamn book.
This is why he'll never finish his books. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So, whatever. All I know is that people are excited about it. Whatever.
Yeah, of course they are. And then they're going to get let down because he hasn't finished it yet.
All right. Well, I think that is all the news we have. Unless you got anything else you'd like to talk about.
I do not, good sir.
All right. Cool.
Should we get to the Faithful 50?
Let's do it. From the Faithful 50, Ryan. I think we got questions, and it's time to answer them.
So every Wednesday I drop a post on our Facebook page, and if you would like to leave a comment, and we will answer whatever question that you have, and we'll give you internet fame, just like Francis from Africa, I think.
Nice.
He's
worldwide. I love a worldwide audience.
I think this is our best non-US follower.
Yes, very true.
I would say that. So, Francis, you're our number one worldwide listener.
You're the best.
Francis wants to know, do you think Matt Ryan, the actor, will ever play Constantine in his own movie?
Probably not. I heard a rumor that what's his name? Keanu Reeves is gonna know. What's his name? The Irish guy, actor.
The actor guy.
He played in Fantastic Beasts. God, what the
fuck? The other Matt.
No, whatever. You're the worst. It'll come back to me in a second. But there's been rumors that other people are up for roles as Constantine. They really like Matt Ryan, but he's established himself so much as the TV universe guy that DC seems to really want to separate the TV universes from Colin Farrell. You're the worst.
Yeah,
apparently Colin Farrell is reportedly up for Constantine in a live action movie. I think DC for the movies likes to get big known stars. But Matt Ryan's been great as Constantine. I love him as Constantine. I would love to see him in a movie. But something tells me they're going to keep using him for the TV universe. And whenever they make a live-action Constantine character again, they'll probably use somebody who's already been established. Or maybe, fingers crossed, we'll get a Keanu Reeves Constantine too.
And to my understanding, he's been just knocking out of the ballpark when it comes to the DC universe, the CW
He
shows.
has been. It's great.
Yeah. So thank you, Francis. I see our next question is from Jeff, and he wants to know. I hope you did your logged in your memory bank, Brian, because we know your pasty white skin.
I am like an elephant. I eat a lot of peanut butter.
He wants to know, what was the worst sunburn you ever had? I don't know if Jeff has recently got one. But.
Yeah, so I think there's two times I can remember like having the worst sunburn. So one was in Moses Lake. I was out with my stepdad, took us out fishing, and he wouldn't buy sunblock because it was too expensive. He said just let get out in the sun more and it'll tan your skin. And so he takes us out on a boat in Moses Lake. We're in t-shirts and sunglasses for 8 hours. My upper body and arms were so fried that like I was like vomiting and I had like you couldn't do anything. Oh, dude, I had like little blisters. Dude, it was so bad. I was burnt for like a week straight before it got it better. And then there was a time when I finally.
Or anything?
What?
Did you go to the hospital or anything?
I probably should have. No, we were camping in Moses Lake for a week.
Yeah.
It was bad, man. It was so bad. Like, I was not good. I mean, it was probably the sickest like I've ever been with a sunburn. And the worst part is we were sleeping in these tents. These tents out in Moses Lake, and it was like 102 degrees the whole time. So you're just, how you're already hot when you're burnt?
Yeah.
Dude, I was so miserable. My skin, like, if I hadn't been like 16, I probably would have died.
Yeah.
like I was young and your body just like rebounds, but it was bad. The other time, well, 2 times involving my head. One time I was in Vegas when I finally realized that my hair was starting to thin a little bit. I've never had to wear like a cap or anything when I'm in a pool, and I was in Vegas partying all day long in a pool, and I had lots of sunscreen on my shoulders because, like you noted, I'm pretty pasty white, so I was just cake on the sunscreen and the sunblock. So, but I've never put it on my head, and then all of a sudden we got out of the pool. I went to the hotel room and took a shower, and my head was fried, like your skin is like you feel it, and you don't feel anything because the nerve endings have been barbecued. Oh. And I'm like, uh-oh, this is bad. Yeah, it's like scabbed up and shit. It was so bad. And then the other time, there's 3 stories for the price of one. We were at Seafair, and we were there for 13 hours. And I put sunblock on my arms, but I was, I didn't put it on my face because I had a hat, right, that was covering my face.
I thought the hat was covering up.
But I thought the hat was covering it up. Apparently it wasn't. And so I get home, and I have a red. Where the sun had, like at a certain point, the sun had hit the bill, and half my face was burnt. Literally, I had a line going down the side of my face like this, and this whole half was barbecued, and this half was totally just white.
Dude, you look like a weird Two-Face cosplay kind of.
Dude, it was so bad. I was like, what is this? No, dude, I don't mess around. With this pasty white complexion, I do not mess around with the sun. I put on SPSF 1000. People are like, you get a tan? Nope. I don't want a tan. When sun hits my skin, I can smell it burning. I smell like a turkey. So I just put on sunblock as much as possible.
I've always put on ample amounts of sunblock, but there was the one time where I forgot to do it, and it was my chest and my back and shoulders were just completely red, and then it was like my skin was like peeling off, like. Eventually, I was peeling off like big, huge, giant.
Gross.
It was just like,
dude.
Look, guys. Yeah, that was probably the worst I've ever had.
That is disgusting.
I've not had it as bad as you though, but
yeah, like I said, I've blistered before, and that's.
Yeah. But I have always been. I mean, I'm fairly. We even with our kids, we just go like, here you go.
Just goober them up.
But, man, she's like, we put like SPF 1000 on her, and she still gets tan. So.
Yeah, my 2 daughters are like that, man. The sun, if it's a sunny day, somehow the rays come through the house and tan them. I don't even know how it works. Not me. Yeah. I mean, I'll tan a little bit, but like I immediately turn red, and then the next day it'll kind of be golden brown.
Yeah, and then you just hang out inside.
Honestly, I just don't even care. I ain't fucking with the sun, man. The sun is just like a ball of cancer trying to just penetrate your skin. So I love going tropical places, but I just lather it on. And now that I got these tattoos, I definitely have to lather it up because they fade bad in the sun. So I'm gonna get like a second skin coat and just coat it.
Yeah, like I have family members that are like, they put on like oils and stuff like that.
Oh,
like,
God.
why? Like, why? Like, do you want
up.
skin cancer and die? It's like
they're speeding up the tumors, man. No, don't do it.
All right. Thank you, Jeff. And Jeff, let us know if you have had a really bad sunburn. I have a feeling that there's a good story behind this question.
Yes,
and
I'm sure there is.
From Jeff.
Definitely.
Okay, next up we have, Francis gave us another question. He wants to know, do you think Swamp Thing will be picked up by another network, and which would you prefer? Swamp Thing is not going to get picked up by anything else. DCU app is pretty much a self-contained thing, and I think they're kind of using that as a testing ground, especially in these early phases.
Yeah, they
could come back. I mean, there's nothing saying that North Carolina can't get their crap together, or they can try and find like a different location or something like that.
Well, apparently it kind of came out that North Carolina wasn't entirely to blame. That DC, some of the news since we talked about last week is that DC freaked a little bit. They thought they had a dud on their hands, and because it was expensive, they got rid of it quickly. But they didn't expect people to like it as much as they do. So, I mean, there's always a chance it comes back once Warner Brothers kind of sorts out their platform for streaming and what they're going to do. There's also a chance that like a CW or a Sci-Fi. And here's the thing: DC owns this character. They own the show on the network. They're not going to be. They canceled their own thing, so they're not going to be shopping it to other networks. That being said, if CW comes to them and says, "Hey, listen, we're willing to split the cost with you to produce this because we think it has legs," that might be a different story.
Yeah, but I can't see this on the CW though.
No, listen.
Especially in its current form.
Well, I mean, the reason I say CW is because you could bring the aforementioned Matt Ryan over, and you could do Constantine. Constantine and Swamp Thing have worked together for a long time in the Justice League Dark. So, I mean, there are ways you could see this character again. Unfortunately, Francis, I don't think we're going to see this iteration of Swamp Thing again. I think we're going to get the 10 episodes. Hopefully we'll enjoy them, and hopefully we get some kind of a conclusion, and that'll be that. Yeah,
and if we cross our fingers hard enough, maybe we'll get to see something.
Yeah, and there's always, if the DC universe, if they decide that they want to put money, Warner Brothers really wants to put some money into this, and they really feel like this can be a big, winner for them, maybe they will take some more chances, or enough people love it, they bring it back. I mean, Justice League or Young Justice was canceled years ago, and we finally got the third season, and just because it's done doesn't mean it's done.
Yeah, they can always bring it back. That's one of the, like you were saying, they own every single part of this property, and they have no intention of trying to lease it out to anybody else.
No. So we'll see what happens. But I mean, if it does come back, it's going to come back to a DC universe, or like I said, if Sci-Fi or CW wants to help pay for the show, they might be able to work something out. But clearly, they have a good relationship with those networks, so we'll see. Mm-hmm. And there's a good chance that Warner Brothers probably owns the Sci-Fi channel. I'm not really sure who owns it, but
it wouldn't surprise me. All the channels now are owned by three companies.
Well, so. CW is owned by WB and CBS. That's why it's CW.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's why if CW wanted to come to them and say, "Hey, we want Swamp Thing. We'll co-produce it with you." Basically, that means we're gonna help pay for it.
Oh. I did not know that.
They would have to change the show a lot, I think, if it went on CW, because it's very dark.
Yeah, it's very dark, and they don't mind getting to like the swears and stuff like that.
Another place you could see, I wouldn't mind seeing like an HBO or Cinemax picking it up.
Yeah, or Amazon. I mean,
Amazon, they're competing. HBO, WB is owned also. They also own HBO and Cinemax, so.
Oh, that's right.
That could be a place they could put it, but we'll see. I mean, never say never. But if I had to rate this, if I had to give it a 1 out of 10 chance of Swamp Thing's coming back, I'd say probably 2 at this point.
I think once all the media companies are owned by Disney.
Yeah, maybe then.
And maybe then.
Yeah, I mean, we're at the point now. We're gonna get. We're gonna have 3 people that own everything, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Right now, we're not gonna get back in the immediate future, though. But maybe after episode 10, everybody loves the whole thing, and then they start screaming for it. Anything's possible. So
just keep watching it on DCU app, Francis, and tell your friends to watch it, and just try to log in as many views as you can.
Yep, there you go. All right, well, thank you, Francis, for the question.
Yep, and that's it. That's all we got for the Faithful 50.
All right, well, before we get out of here real quick, weekly recommendations. What do you got, Ryan?
Yeah, I got jack and squat. I've been in dad
Is that
mode.
is that like a new workout move?
Yes, it is called I work too much and then I come home and then I have to do too much dad stuff. And then by the time I realize it's 10:30 at night and I need to go to bed and start the whole process over again. I have not had any time to do anything. I'm even finding out, like, on Father's Day, my son's got some soccer scrimmage or something that, going to be 2 hours out of my Father's Day. Stand on the sideline, watch soccer. Yay. So,
there you go. There's your recommendation.
I just want a big giant ribeye steak. And
listen, this isn't what Ryan wants while he whines hour. This is recommendation time.
This is my Father's Day request in case my family ever watches this show.
They won't.
But I'll just turn it into a Father's Day thing. I want a ribeye steak and I want to be left alone for like 4 hours.
So Ryan's recommendation is don't have kids because then you don't have to go to soccer events on Father's Day.
Yeah.
And you don't even have to celebrate Father's Day for that matter.
Yeah. So what about you, Ryan? Do you have any recommendation for this week?
Yeah, I got a recommendation. Something you can do with your family. We recently picked up a new game. It's called Uno Attack.
Attack. So do the cards punch you in the face?
No, it's pretty cool. So we were looking for some new family fun games to play on Game Time. And so the kids picked this one out because we love Uno in this house. So what this game is it gives you, it's basically Uno, just regular Uno, but it gives you some additional cards. So some new cards. And then the new cards say things like, instead of draw 4 cards, all the cards are loaded in here. And instead of saying like draw 4 cards, they say push the button 4 times. So I'm going to show you what this does. So you can turn it on, get your little noise. The cards are loaded in here. And so everyone starts with 7 cards and you pick it and you're like, oh, Brian, you got to draw 4. You got to hit the button 4 times. So I say, okay, what do I do? 1, 2. Oh, that was anticlimactic. Ha There we go.
Oh my god.
Got one. So anyway, yeah, so it shoots out cards and then you have to put them in your hand, and the person who runs out of cards first wins. Everybody else has to add up their cards, and then the first person to 500 wins. So it was actually, we played it. I will say this, I don't know how you play it to 500 because one game took us over an hour because everyone kept having to, my wife is telling everybody every time I get low on cards, she's telling my daughters to hit me with the button thing. So I'm just got a hand. By the end of the game, I mean, one time I had to hit it 4 times. I ended up with like 17 cards. I went from having 1 card to 17 cards in one hand. It's like Jesus. But it has some pretty cool. It has some pretty cool cards. Like you can discard an entire color in your hand. So like. You can play the entire, so you can play the red, so you play every red card in your hand. It's a really cool new take on Uno. It takes a little bit longer, but it's a lot of fun. And I don't care who you are, even if you know this thing's coming, every time you hit the button, you're like, and then the cards shoot at you, and then by the end of the game, you're just like, just give me the cards.
Yeah.
You're yelling at the stupid card thing. So, I would recommend it. I think it's like $20. Uno Attack. It's a fun family game. Could play up to 10 people. It says 7+, but we play with my 6-year-old and she figured it out just fine. So, Uno Attack. Good family
I will have
fun.
to look it up. We are kind of looking for a new family.
I would recommend it. I also think it'd be a good drinking game, but that's just me.
Ooh. I can see a lot of anger.
Yeah, no. I feel like people would try to dodge it and they just fall out of their chairs or something. It'd be great. But, all right, well, that is the show. So before we get out of here, Ryan, would you like to tell everybody where they can find us?
Yeah, you can find us on YouTube at the Geek Dad Report and Twitter at the Geek Dad Report. And Brian is Brian West 53, and I am Big Bruiser. We're on Facebook at the Geek Dad Report, and you can also listen to us on audio only at iTunes. So make sure you leave a 5-star rating, a thumbs up, a heart, a follow, whatever you have to do to try and just let us know that you appreciate that we took some time to try to make you happy. That's all we're trying to do here.
That is all we're trying to do here.
And then tell 5 of your friends to subscribe so that we do not get discouraged and end up quitting. So, there you go. That's where you can find us, everyone.
All right, well, thank you. That is the show. Thanks for joining us for another fun, action-filled episode. Next week we'll have another one. And until then, everyone, stay awesome.
And stay nerdy.